some of you guys already know this, but I'm Peyton Johnson, and I'm a ecology student at Susquehanna University and an intern with the Middle Susquehanna Riverkeepers, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about hydroponics and aquaponics. So, has anyone here already heard of hydroponics and or aquaponics? Okay. So, general knowledge, or are you like a pro?
No, I'm far from a pro.
So today I'm going to just go over the basics, and then I'm going to get into some of the nitty-gritty towards the end. So hydroponics and aquaponics are a method of growing plants. So hydroponics is using water-based nutrient solution instead of soil, and aquaponics produces both fish and plants within the same system, and it uses the nutrients and the waste and the poop from the fish to feed the plants. So this is just the basics of the two systems. This is just one way of doing each of them. There's a lot of different ways you can do both. But basically, the fish, like I said, they make waste. They produce ammonia, and then that turns into a fertilizer, and then it feeds your plants. And then the plants will clean the water, which is good for the fish. And then with hydroponics, it's the same kind of system, except instead of using the fertilizer from the fish, you're using a nutrient-based solution and or plant food. So one of the reasons why this method is super efficient, these methods in general for growing plants, is that it mimics nature in a lot of ways. So much like our very own Susquehanna River, so I put some pictures of the river and just the differences between some of the hydroponic systems and the fish and how similar they are. So these are a few of the benefits of hydroponics and aquaponics. So the natural fertilizer from the fish waste feeds the food. It's a fraction of the water usage, so it's a lot less water, a lot less energy waste, and then no herbicides or pesticides for the most part. A lot less, since if it's grown inside, you don't have nearly as many bugs on your plants, so you don't need to spray your crops, and higher crop yields. No more runoff. So this is a big benefit, is that a lot of these hydroponics and aquaponics systems are inside instead of outside. So one of the main problems with current agriculture that they face is that the water washes from on top of the mountains and where the plants are in agriculture, and washes directly into our water, which is not good when you're talking about fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, that sort of thing. So if you're wondering, where have you seen this before? One of the main ways people have mentioned that they've seen this is at Disney, so in Epcot. So one of the coolest, biggest hydroponics, aquaponics systems I've ever seen, and one of the reasons that got me so interested in it is my mom and my dad took me to Epcot, and I got to see this amazing system. They've got all kinds of giant fish and like huge tanks. It's just like a really cool way of, they talk about all the different aspects of it. Got me super interested in it. Everybody's being really creative with how they grow these days. You can grow them pretty much anywhere. So you can grow them in, I've seen them grown in abandoned warehouses. Shipping containers are really big these days. So lights at the top of the shipping container, plants along the side, and either like a PVC pipe or along in trays. And these can be grown in areas with minimal sunlight, maybe that it's too dry to grow plants, like the desert, or food deserts where there's not a lot of fresh produce due to a distance from the farm. These are some of the ways that you can integrate this into your everyday life and into your home. So a lot of people make their own, but you can also purchase something that does something like this, like an herb garden, like I have here, off Amazon, Walmart, whatever. But you can also make them yourself, which is super fun, because then you can make it as big or as small as you want, fit the space you want.
What kind of light is that?
So that's just like a normal like UV type light. It's just I'm not exactly sure what all the different bulbs are, but it cycles through some different ones to make light changes. They're real high tech. Let you creep here. So then, also, one of the things I was going to talk to you guys about was the different things you need to do this at home. So, basically, you just need growing medium, self-watering wick, Caesar plants of your choice, plant food or your nutrient mixture, and a container of any sort. Now, if you're wondering, like, I don't have a lot of containers at home that could do this, go in your recycling bin. Open your recycling bin. Now, don't go digging through the trash and make your mom very angry. So, make sure you're cleaning up after yourselves. Sure. Fallon's giving you all looks. Like, you better not. So, basically, as you see on some of the tables behind you, you feel free to pick them up, mess with them, look at them, whatever you want to do. These are just water bottles. I mean, you can use all kinds of stuff. One of them is a Gatorade bottle. You cut the top off, you flip it over, you put your wick down in your bottle cap, nutrient mixture at the top, plant, and you've got a hydroponic system. That easy.
What's the rope?
So the rope is this this wicking. It's just a cotton poly blend. But make sure it says it's for your garden too. So it says it'll have a little symbol that says it's garden safe, plant safe, whatever. Because some of them have like a plastic coating, and you don't want that in your plants, as we're talked about downstairs.
Where do you get it? What's the stuff at the top then?
So this is just a growing medium. So some of the different examples of this are like an aggregate substrate. You can use a little bit of soil. So these ones are just normal soil. But if you don't want to use that, you can use the coconut core or whatever. And then
I'm new to all this, so I know.
yeah, you can make no, that's perfectly fine. Like I'm relatively new to it too. But it's they sell clay balls even that you can just put in there. You don't even need soil. So, and then
What is the fountain?
so basically the rope just sucks up the water, feeds it to the soil, it wets the soil, and then it keeps from too much water ending up in your soil. You don't have to worry about overwatering anymore. Which, when I started gardening, my biggest problem was I was overwatering my plants. My friends like, your plants keep dying because you're giving them too much water. Too much love. So, that's how it killed most of my succulents. But this is a way to keep that from happening. So that's why it's so water efficient, energy efficient. But you can actually, if you want to touch that, it's just cotton poly blend. There's different types you can use. They'll try to sell you some expensive one on Amazon. It's perfect for hydroponics, and they're going to charge you double, but it's the same thing.
So where did you get it, the cheapest?
So this is just I got it at like a Tractor Supply or like a some kind of garden store. And it just is a cotton poly blend, and it'll have a little house on it that says Save Your House. It'll have a little plant on it that says Save Your Plants. And so that's about it. So you can use pretty much anything. So you can use the soil, like I have in these, or you can use like the substrate. So this is like, they're using like substrate that they designed for hydroponics. It's like a, I don't know, something like a, almost like a polymer, called clay bead, you know, and then it just, but when you're establishing the plants, if they're seeds, it's sometimes harder to do this way. They don't have as much like space for the seeds to grab onto. So I normally start mine in a little bit of soil, a little cup like these, or like one of these mini hydroponic systems, and then when they get bigger, I can put them in something more elaborate, something like. So this actually comes with these. So if you see, there's like a soil core, and it comes with the seeds, and then the roots just come directly out of that little bit of soil and down into where I have my nutrient mixture, and then also like some water, and then it cycles through. It already automatically does like cycles for you. Something like this is really great if you're just getting started, because it does most of the work. All the instructions are in the box. You just pop your little seed cores in, and then next thing you know, you've got plants. I was growing lettuce in this. I was growing so much lettuce and I didn't know what to do with it all. I was feeding my chickens for days. I had boxes and boxes of lettuce, and my mom was like, please, Peyton, stop growing lettuce. So we started sending it to the neighbors, and they were making salad from, I mean, this was enough for my family and another family, and then my chickens. They were very efficient. And you see, like, how long have I had these seeds? Not long, right? A couple weeks, and they're huge. I mean, 3 days ago they didn't have blooms, and now they're blooming. I'm not sure. It didn't specify what kind of flowers they were, but they're flowers. So.
So that's flowers and not lunch.
So no, this is not lunch. But I have grown lettuce in it in the past. I've grown basil and herbs. When I was living at home and not in a dorm room, I was cooking a lot more, and my mom was buying all these. She likes to cook a lot, so she was buying lots of basil and thyme and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll just do that for you. So I grew enough, like I said, for her. My neighbor dried it. She dries hers, so she'll grow it and then she'll dry some of her herbs and then use those like you would use them in the store. She's real creative with that. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, so if you started little bottles like that, how do you put the water just up to the cap? And then how do you get more? You just take that
You don't need much water. So I have these taped down because I had them in my car and I didn't want them to splash everywhere. But normally you don't need to tape them. You can actually just
pop it off.
Yeah. So the tape is great for like mess. But if you just want to water it, you just pull the top out. You don't glue it down or anything like that. You just pull it out, put a little bit more water in it, and then set your top of your bottle back down in there. It's super easy. Actually, if you're interested, I have some, because I figured some of you guys would be like, I want to do that. So I actually have some little kits here, if you guys would like to come and grab some stuff. It has the instructions, a wick, and some seeds. And if you wanted to make yourself little kits to take home and try it in a water bottle, the one thing I would caution is that if you're a younger person, have your mom help you with the cutting of the water bottle. Please don't do that by yourself. Or Fallon, because she's super helpful and she just volunteered to make all of your water bottles. Thank you, Fallon. It's so nice of you. She's gonna make all the water bottles for all the kids, and so they're gonna come up here and get their kits now. Do you guys want to come and get your kits? I have some lettuce, so I have them in like little packets here. We're also gonna take some time after and the little pavilion to here's the little seeds and I have them in tape so that they don't fly away. But we're gonna take some time after in the pavilion. I got the joke twice, Val. I thought it was funny twice. In the pavilion to make some of these. So if you guys are interested in doing that, I can actually show you guys if you have a water bottle. You may have brought one with you, or actually I found a pretty creative way to do these cups that I reused from a previous event. So you can, there is really no limit to how you can do this. I mean, it's very easy to do on a small scale. Now, when you get into something bigger like, something like this is a lot more involved. So Eric, the other intern, actually has this like super fancy system with an overflow and all this other stuff and a pump and way up here over my head. So I mean it's pretty easy to do on a small scale. Not so bad if you know what you're doing on a big scale. Like I said, they're really great if you don't have a lot of backyard space. So if you don't have a backyard, this is a really great option for you to grow your own vegetables still. No more plastic wrapped food from the grocery store. Yeah, so most plants. Now, there's ways that you can do something similar to this if you don't want one of those big lights, because, so I had a friend in high school who really liked doing this. His mom hated the LED lights, like all the time in her basement. She's like, my basement is glowing, stop it. So he had found ways to like do it differently with I would say cycles of light if you're worried about like light pollution in your home. But for the most part, yeah, if you're not growing them outside, they do need some kind of lighting system. For the most part, they're not all that expensive on Amazon. You can get most of those lights for pretty cheap. I've got, I mean, probably not the best quality, but 20, 30 bucks. So.
Could you just do it in front of the window?
Yeah, you could do it in front of a window. So you don't need a light, but like you said, if you don't have a window to put it in, you can do it with a light. Also, this is the other thing. Let me see if I can find the grate. I couldn't find it for the first group, so you guys are special. Okay. So this is another way you can do something similar. So you can grow sprouts if you don't have any sunlight or minimal sunlight in your kitchen or whatever, because even your kitchen lights in your house will provide some kind of UV. So you can put about half a tablespoon of your favorite sprouts. You can get them on Amazon in a large bag. It's like $5 and it lasts you months. And you put, not that much because they get real big, but like broccoli sprouts, mung beans, I believe don't require sunlight if you grow them. You actually, some people will buy certain plants, you put a cover on this. They sew covers on Etsy. I know people are real creative. On Etsy you can buy covers for these things. And then you just put this on there, screw it down with a regular mason jar lid, and then once a day you just rinse it, empty it out. You don't leave water in it because it'll get moldy. I did that once. Don't do that. And then leave it to drain like this, and then when they're done, you leave it in the jar. Once it's drained, stick it in your fridge, and you've got broccoli sprouts. And you can put that on your sandwich just like lettuce. And they taste a lot better than full size broccoli. I'm not a huge broccoli person, I know. I'm a picky eater. So I take in my vegetables as I get them. I'll do, so I work out a lot, so I'll do like a smoothie with them. Like, it's the way I hide my greens because I'm a picky eater even as an adult into my smoothies. This is great. You grow a lot of sprouts in that one little jar. Also no soil. So it's another very efficient way of doing that. And also no soil. So any other questions? I guess I did a good job if there's no questions. Oh, so this is one I bought. It came with a set that it's like one of those guaranteed to grow hydroponics or whatever. This is just like a plant pot with the wick down in it already, and then you put your substrate or whatever you want to put in it down in there, rocks, soil, whatever, and then you can grow your plant like this. It's like a more complex way of doing the water bottle thing. But mason jars are really great for this. I use mason jars a lot. You can actually you don't even need to buy the whole jar. You can actually just buy this stuff at like a normal garden store and make it yourself. The wick?
No, the black thing.
Oh, this is just like a plant container. I'm not sure if it has like
Call it if you want to buy.
Yeah, look it up.
I would say just like I don't know, plant container for hydroponics on Amazon, and it would probably pop up. I'm not sure if there's an exact name. But yeah, mason jars are really great for this. I mean, you probably have like a billion of them in your kitchen already from jarring things. You can grow them in the same thing you're jarring. So they're really great. I have a few in my mom's kitchen that I'm putting here for her. I'm sure she loves all her kitchen space being taken up by my plants. Hydroponics? Hydroponics, yeah. So I can go back if you want to see how it's spelled. This is in bigger letters. Hydroponics. And then aquaponics is the one with fish. So I just remember aqua. So I don't have like a complex aquaponics system, but I do kind of use the principles of it with my betta fish. So 2 betta fish, and they're each separate tanks. Don't worry. People are like, you got 2 betta fish? Anyway, 2.5. They're 3.5 gallon tanks. And then what I'll do is, since I don't have, I'm gonna do not have enough space for something quite as complex as this, but I'll take their water and I'll put it in like an empty water jug or like milk jug, and then I'll use it to water my plants and like put that directly in my hydroponics system. So it's the same principle as aquaponics, but without this.
What are you doing? Like stuff out of it?
Yeah, so I have 2 fish tanks,
Right.
and when I cycle their water, when I'm cleaning their tanks, I just keep the dirty water, and then I put it in my hydroponic systems, and then you get the benefits of both. It's a lot easier than it sounds.
Okay. I'm just thinking of the
So-
dirty water.
Oh, it's really actually not that bad, because you keep a filter in your tank still, but the same like ammonia, nitrate, like all that stuff that's in the water, it's the plants end up using. It's still in there, so it's not actually as dirty as it sounds. It sounds gross, but it's really not. And it's interesting because at one point I had it set up so I could. Now, I don't have the same system set up now, but when I had my last dorm room, I had a big enough window, I was able to cycle the same water that I put from the fish tank into my hydroponic system back into my fish tank, and then back into my hydroponics, and then back into my fish tank, and then back into my hydroponics. So I actually never really, I would top off their tanks, but it was a lot less water waste. Because, if you think about it, you're traveling for school a lot. If you're dumping that 3.5 gallons every couple weeks, it's very wasteful. So I was like, there's no way I'm like wasting this much water. So I started bottling it and keeping it. And my friends will actually call me and be like, hey, can I have fish water? Because it's good for your plants. So like, I actually have a friend that I regularly would bring over a little jug of fish water, and I'm like, just don't drink it, you know?
You don't pour it on.
So I use it as hydroponics, but you can pour it directly on there. It's just fertilized water at that point. So it's like, you can just use it instead of your normal fertilizer. Any questions? Yeah? So, every nutrient mix is going to be slightly different depending on the kind of plants you're growing. So, like, I tend to just skip the, complications of trying to make it myself or anything like that. Especially because I have the fish, I don't need to make that much nutrient solution, but you can actually buy it specifically with these systems for the type of plants you're doing. It takes a lot of that extra complication out with trying to figure out which nutrient solution to use for different plants. You can buy, so say I'm growing tomatoes in my lovely arrow garden. It'll give you tomato mix. It'll have certain things that are better for that plant. But it's just a little white bottle that comes with the... Yeah. So if you didn't have Amazon to get your nutrient mixture, I'm sure there's a way. I wouldn't know how to make it, but I would say if you do you know?
Compost tea is fantastic. If you have compost, just strain your compost tea and then dump it in.
That's all right.
For me, I'll have to try that now. But the fish water has always been good enough. I've never needed to substitute much. With this, it actually does come with food, so I've never had to do that either. But
Just in case Amazon's not
just in case Amazon shuts down one day.
Never
Oh
know.
my goodness, I'd be in so much trouble.
Be prepared.
I'd be in a lot of trouble. So, quickly I can go over some different fish if you guys are interested in aquaponics. So, some of the edible fish, so if you're planning on eating your fish, are tilapia, catfish, carp, largemouth bass. So those are the ones that are pretty popular with aquaponics. But if you're wanting some more ornamental fish for your house, goldfish, koi, tetras, and angelfish. But my bettas do a good job of making the water dirty enough. So, but I know goldfish really dirty up a tank fast. So if you need a lot of fish waste, go get a 20-cent goldfish. Yeah, 20 cents. You can get them. Feeder fish are great. I've had friends that kept little 20-cent goldfish alive for like 5 years.
So basically, when you're taking that water out, cleaning your thing out, you're gonna just put it in a bottle and say fish water.
Yeah.
Keep that, put it in your hydroponics.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, and I mean, like, it's a lot less water waste. It's a lot less on your water bill. Yeah, I mean, what were you saying? Oh. But yeah, it's, that's how I personally do it, because I like my fish. I like to keep them as pets too, but they also help me grow. Any other questions, comments? Did everybody get, if they wanted a kit to make their own seed system?
Or is it just,
I don't know if there's, so I can get more. I have basil also in my bag. So if you guys wanted to stay after in the pavilion, we can show you guys how to make it, and we can make your kits to send home, or we can make a water bottle if you like. So I've done both. When I had more space when I was back home, I did have a system where I did on top. Right now, because I don't have that kind of height space for that, with my little tiny windowsill, I do them separate, and then I just filter it. Like I do like a hydroponic system, and instead of a nutrient mixture, I just put fish waste. So it's the same concept, same idea of both. It's like a hybrid.